What's going on, guys? Sixmax here, and today in the background here you get to watch an awesome Black Ops 2 gameplay by Clayze TV where he goes 111-3 on the classic map Hijacked. He's also he's using a Type 25 with the diamond camo, and it's a hardpoint gameplay here. He ends up pulling out a beast triple nuke when all is said and done. And make sure you guys go check out Clayze TV. He's got some awesome gameplays on his channel. I think you guys will really like his content he puts out, and a link will be in the description along with mine as well. And if you guys are a Black Ops 2 fan, watch how Clayze uses the Type 25 in this game. It's one of those guns that was pretty popular when Black Ops 2 first came out because you unlocked it pretty early on. And I think it was something like at level 4 or something like that. But once Black Ops 2 was out for a little while, especially once people started getting to those higher levels, not a lot of people kept using the Type 25. They switched to guns like the AN-94 or something like that. But like you can see here, if you know how to use the Type 25, you can do some serious damage. The key is to play to its strengths, and in situations that aren't ideal with the Type 25, sometimes you just really need to just back away and wait for a better spot. I mean, and that's similar with a lot of guns. But the Type 25 really is a pretty decent gun. I mean, no, it's not one of the best guns in the game, which makes this gameplay that much better. But it's pretty decent. Like I said before, if you know how to use it, how it was meant to be used, you can do some pretty good work. I think that most people use the Type 25 not really in the way it was meant to be used. And what I mean by that is they sort of like pigeonhole the gun because it's an assault rifle. It's in the assault rifle category, so they automatically assume that the best distance for it is kind of that medium or longer ranges. But with the Type 25, that's really actually not the case. Yeah, if you burst fire pretty carefully with it, you can do some pretty good work from longer distances. But take a look at the stats on it the next time you're looking at the assault rifles. You can see how high the rate of fire is, which is actually on par with some of the submachine guns even, pretty close to that in Black Ops 2. So obviously anytime you have a higher rate of fire, that hurts how accurate you can be, from longer ranges because of the kick and stuff like that. So obviously because of the high rate of fire for an assault rifle, you actually want to use the Type 25 in like a more of a medium to closer range whenever you possibly can. You can see here in the gameplay that Clayze, he does a pretty good job of doing this, and that's part of the reason he's able to pull off such a big score. And also something to keep in mind is that because of the higher rate of fire, you won't be able to take down 2 or 3 enemies at a time as much as, because of course you have that higher rate of fire that ends up emptying your clip a lot faster than you might be used to with a typical assault rifle. So when you're using it, you also have to keep in mind that just because you come across 2 enemies doesn't mean you should go right for them. You might get caught with your pants down in a situation where you run out of ammo a lot quicker than you're used to. So keep that in mind, you guys. Also the hip fire on the Type 25 it's not quite as good as a submachine gun, so that's definitely a drawback. It's more closer to the hip fire of an assault rifle, so you might want to stick to those small to medium ranges instead of trying to rush the entire game. Just something to keep in mind when it comes to the Type 25. But that's why the Type 25 is a fun gun to use on Hijacked. Hijacked is definitely one of the smaller maps on Black Ops 2. It might actually be the smallest map on Black Ops 2 besides Nuketown. And like you've all probably seen, the spawn trapping on this map you can do is absolutely insane. And the Type 25 has plenty of range to take care of that, because a lot of the gunfights you get into are those from like a smaller to medium range, so you can easily pin the other players back by the A or the C flags and rack up those huge gun streaks like Clayze is showing you guys here. Also something to keep in mind, if you guys want to use the Type 25, some of the good perks to use you can have a lot of success with are things like Scavenger, because you'll be trying to do a lot of spawn trapping and going for those higher gun streaks, which Scavenger obviously helps you with, so you can always have enough ammo and you don't get stuck using a crappy gun you picked off of someone's body or something like that. And Scavenger is also nice on the Type 25 because like I mentioned before, it has, I think, the highest rate of fire of any of the assault rifles, so you'll chew through ammo pretty quick, and this helps you stay fully stocked. This will also help you resupply your lethal equipment if you're going with any of those as well. And you can also run with Flak Jacket on this class, which can help you stay alive and go for those really high gun streaks as well. Flak Jacket is actually a pretty useful perk in Black Ops 2 because a lot of you guys know the C4s in this game are pretty overpowered, and Flak Jacket can help you obviously stay alive when you see people in your lobby throwing these around like crazy. There's nothing worse than being on a nice long kill streak and getting killed by a random nade or a C4 sandwich, something like that. But another huge perk that you can go with that complements Flak Jacket actually really nicely and helps you go on those high gun streaks is actually by using Tactical Mask. Tactical Mask it's definitely one of those perks that I didn't use very much at all when Black Ops 2 first came out, but when I really thought about it, there's actually certain situations where it's really nice. You guys probably know what Tactical Mask does, but for those of you who don't, it reduces the effects that flashbangs and concussion grenades and shock charges have on you. So if you're in a tactical grenade happy lobby, you can throw this on, or you actually see this happen a lot where you're really doing some damage on your enemies, and they try to want to do anything they can to slow you down. So they start throwing around shock charges and to watch their back a little bit and flashbangs when they see you and stuff like like that. So tactical mask will help you solve this problem, you know, easily, pretty quick. So getting, you know, shocked or concussed when you're on a long gun streak is another one of those crappy ways to die. So this will help you so that doesn't happen. Also, if you want to throw a C4 onto your class, that'll also work really, really well, obviously because of how powerful they are in Black Ops 2. And if you want to, you know, do that, just add fast hands onto your class as well, because fast hands and scavenger are a nasty combo, especially when you're tossing C4s around. So again, you guys, you want to cater not just your playing style, but also your class a little more to like a good aggressive class when you're going with the Type 25. Now, you don't want to go, you know, nuts with the Type 25 and rush like crazy, but almost like an in-between play style between the usual assault rifle and the submachine, you know, typical gun playing style, but definitely a little more rushy than you normally would in assault rifle class, because that's really just where the Type 25 does a lot better. So kind of a blend of a cautious and an aggressive, you know, is a good rule of thumb with the Type 25. Now let's talk a little bit about Hijacked and some of the best ways to kind of, I guess you could say, help try and duplicate a score like this on your own. Well, Hijacked is obviously a smaller map, which means depending on your gun abilities, you still need to pick your spots. Obviously, the main area of the map where you can always find enemies is in the middle where the B flag is, but if you really want to pull off those higher gun streaks, you can't stay in the middle too long or you end up getting flanked or shot in the back. A good rule of thumb is to be careful when you cross the middle and be aggressive when you find out where the enemy team is spawning. I know most of you probably know this because this is a pub stomping channel you're watching, but for those of you who don't, the big spawn traps on this map are on either sides of the boat by the C and the A flags. Now ideally you don't want to completely go back there once you empty out your enemies. You want to push back towards the spawn, but let them keep spawning back there. Work your way from the sides of the map behind the little barrels that can give you some good cover, as well as through the middle doorway, and move around, you know, kind of rotating between the sides and the middle of the room and stuff like that. Also rely heavily on your mini map, because, you know, chances are if your team is doing pretty well, you'll almost always have a UAV up and eventually also a VSAT. So rely heavily on these, and it will give you the best idea on which one of these three areas you should be at each given time, basically. So to kind of piggyback off of what I said about trying to avoid the middle part of the map as much as you can, a good way to do this, is a lot of you probably know, is as soon as you spawn on the end of the map, you can quickly get up into that little room, you know, next to the B flag, especially if you're using some kind of a speed perk. But if you can initially kill those first two, you know, or so enemies you'll definitely run into, then you can work your way towards pushing them back into their spawn, either by going into the middle of the building or on either side of the routes as well. And definitely be aware of how head glitchy this map is, you guys. Just around just about every corner, there's so many head glitches, so keep that in mind when you're playing, you guys. Now, as far as playing in a party, I hardly ever play in a party myself, which I know is kind of weird coming from someone in a pub stomping clan, but I'm new to the clan, and I usually just join random matches and I get gameplays that way. But as far as Hijacked goes, in my opinion, Hijacked is the best map in Black Ops 2 to run with a party, because if you somewhat know what you're doing and you coordinate yourselves a little bit before the game starts, you can easily spawn trap your enemies and control the match, you know, especially if you're playing against a lobby full of just random players who aren't even teamed up and stuff like that. And I wouldn't say Hijacked is a really campy map like a lot of other maps in Black Ops 2. Really, for the most part, the only spot you need to worry about people camping in are those two buildings on either side, and mostly the upper parts of those buildings. Always, you know, almost always without fail, you can find someone at least one of the upper windows of those buildings, and usually with a shock charge or a claymore protecting their back. So watch out for those. Or like I mentioned before, slap on, you know, tactical mask, which can help you out in this area. And one more thing I really want to, you know, talk to you guys about in this video just briefly is that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is obviously coming up pretty soon. What is it? It's like a little over 2 months away, something like that. So of course everyone in the community is starting to get way hyped for that, and the other, you know, the other Call of Duties are kind of dying off. This is usually that time of year. The popularity for the other CODs, you know, it's just starting to slow down, especially on YouTube. So all of us here at Volt want to hear from you guys how we can make our channel the best channel it can be when Advanced Warfare finally comes out. You know, let us know down in the comments down below any specific series you guys would, you know, think would be cool. Do you guys want to see some more, you know, just high, you know, way high kill streaks, you know, and some sick gameplays, or do you guys want to see, you know, mix in some other stuff as well? Let us know down below, because after all, that's what's most important. You know, the most important thing to us is making sure you guys enjoy our videos and want to come back and watch them. But that wraps up this video, you guys. This gameplay is coming to an end. Again, you guys, that was a triple nuclear 111 non-lethal kill streak gameplay by Clayze TV. Make sure you guys go check out his channel. The link will be in the description. So now that you guys, you know, have seen a sick gameplay with a Type 25, what gun do you guys think is the best gun in Black Ops 2? I want to hear you guys' opinion, you know, on that in the comments down below. And again, you guys, this is 6max. My channel link will be in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, you guys. It really helps our channel grow. Let's see if we can hit 175 likes for this 111, you know, triple nuke, you guys. Show some love for that. But anyways, I'm out of here, you guys, but I will see you all in my next video. See ya!